So Julie from Texas asked this question. After pouring out and giving, how do you fill yourself back up and prevent spiritual attack or depression? Now, this can be really key because there is this potential. And if you have seen any of the Prophets of the Holy Land videos, one of them that I did was about Elijah when he's running from Jezebel. He just had this amazing spiritual experience where he's on the top of Mount Carmel and he defeats the prophets of Baal. God moves powerfully. The whole nation's heart changes. They turn back to the Lord. The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. And the drought that had been there for 3.5 years is broken. The rainstorm comes. And the next day, Jezebel says, hey, I'm going to kill you. And he runs and he runs and hides. And he's like, I just want to die. Just kill me. And God's like, wait a second. Why do you want to die just because one person killed you? I've given you something to do. We learn a principle from this, and it's not the only place that it happens, but the principle is this. When you give powerfully through the Lord in the Spirit and spiritual operations happen, it is not unusual for it to drain you physically and or emotionally. There are times when the power of God moves through you that it actually will drain your physical body. Daniel had an experience where he has this astounding open vision where he's seeing angels and creatures, and he's told about what's going to be happening internationally over the next season. And it says that he was sick for 3 days. He couldn't even get up. His body was wrecked because of how powerful the spiritual experience that he had. His body was not able to deal with it. So there is this thing of physical bodies and our emotional beings, our souls being drained sometimes by spiritual activity. Doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen sometimes. How do you refill? Well, you've got a couple different things. One, you want to do things that are beneficial for your physical body. Some of the things that are suggested for people that are in depression are very, very helpful, such as get out in the sunlight, get outside, be out in nature, be out in the open air if it's possible. I mean, obviously, sometimes it's just really cold, but sometimes you can play around in the cold and there's things to do. But if you can, get out. Try to do physical activity. Exercise is really good. It helps the endorphins. It helps your body to restore itself in a better way. And be careful with isolation. You want to have some level of protection so that people that would try to draw from you or try to take from you don't have access to you. But be careful that you don't completely isolate yourself because it makes it easier to fall into that place of depression. Spend time with the Lord. I mean, that would be you would think of that as a no-brainer, but when you're in those times and you're just absolutely drained, that's not always the first thing that you think of. So be sure to actually spend time doing something that's going to feed you. When you're going through that, it's usually not the best time to fast. If you're already in a fast, you're already in a fast, but if you haven't been told that you have to do a fast, it's probably not the best time to choose one. But eat healthy foods, things that cause your body to replenish and to grow. Find a way to laugh. Find something humorous. Spend time with friends that you can just laugh and enjoy life. Looking for ways to replenish your body and your soul will help your spirit to recover better as long as you do it in the presence of the Lord. Because we are whole people. We're not spirits that happen to have a soul and live in a body. That's really bad theology. We are spirit, soul, and body. We are integrated just as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. They are each distinct and yet they're inseparable. Our spirit, soul, and body is inseparable even though they're distinct. They can operate separately, but we are one person. We are not three people. And so that understanding is powerful because if you don't get that, then you won't see how much What's going on in the physical affects what's going on in the soul. What's going on in the soul affects what's going on in the spirit. What's going on in the spirit affects the soul and the body. There's an integration of these, and understanding that integration is key to understanding how to replenish yourself, especially in those times when you have kind of the dip that happens after a high. And it's the same thing that happens in so many different areas, but it's just true of the spirit. You've had that where you've just given out physically and you've worn yourself out and you just have that drop, or you had an emotional high and you just feel drained from that emotional high. The same thing, the same principle is happening spiritually. So care for yourself. I love, there's this quote from a guy by the name of Parker Palmer. He says this: self-care is not selfish. It's good stewardship of the only gift that you really have to give, yourself. You are the only gift that you really have to give. So how are you taking care of yourself? Because if you're not taking care of yourself, then you're not having much to give away. And we're told that we're supposed to be giving ourselves away. See, if you don't value something, you're throwing it away, not giving it away. If you're going to be a gift to others, you're going to have to value yourself. And so you take care of yourself, especially after you're in those situations where God uses you powerfully, because those are very, very important times to protect yourself, to get around others, to get out, to care for your physical body so that you don't end up in that place of depression, in that place of Elijah got suicidal when that happened. We don't need to be going there. And there's ways that we can avoid that happening. So, Julie, thanks for your question. Great question for a fireside chat. We'll see you guys next time around.